Sunny skies, looking dry too. Friday, a couple of storms around as we're in the low 90s. And then Saturday, Sunday, and into early next week, the temperatures cool into the 80s as better rain chances finally arrive.
This weather update is brought to you by North Range Behavioral Health. Visit northrange.org.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market. And it turns out it was a good time to start. From day one, Matt Rivette had to do it right. Serve the client. Turn for sale into sold. 32 years later, we know market conditions will change, but Matt Rivette's commitment to you won't. This is a good time to get to know Matt Rivette at Pro Realty. List your commercial, income, or residential property with Matt Rivette. Call Matt Rivette at 970-356-1234 or go to ProRealtyHomes.com.
Can't decide where to go for happy hour? I'll make it easy for you. Right Coast Pizza. Happy hour at Right Coast is daily from 3 to 6 with $1 off draft beers, $2 off glasses of wine, and $5 off the bottle. Get your fill of their specialty pizzas while sipping a craft beer on the patio. Stay up to date with Right Coast Pizza by visiting rightcoastpizza.com. Right Coast Pizza on 8th Street in downtown Greeley.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
At Advantage Bank, we are dedicated to building lasting customer relationships as you discover the difference a locally owned community bank can make. Advantage Bank offers local decision-making, exceptional customer service, and products designed to meet your needs. Some call it going the extra mile, but for Advantage Bank, it's business as usual, and it's what you deserve. Stop by any of our conveniently located branches in Loveland, Greeley, or Fort Collins. Advantage Bank, proud sponsor of UNC Athletics and your banking partner in Northern Colorado. To see our first-class products online, visit AdvantageBanks.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You can see the intense focus, the fiery passion that fills his eyes, the way his face lights up when it's go time. He knows it's his time to shine. No, I'm not talking about an athlete getting ready to take the field. I'm talking about you, truck guy. This is the feeling that takes over every time you start your CRP 4x4 modified truck. Any part or modification that you need, CRP will have it in Northern Colorado's biggest showroom. CRP 4x4 located on the corner of 9th Street and 21st Avenue in Greeley.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure.
Well, I'm glad to hear Chris is okay. What's the condition of his car?
It can be fixed. I'm just waiting to hear from my insurance adjuster as to where.
We'll take it over to Auto Collision Specialists. They've repaired my cars for years.
I wanted to, but my adjuster says I'll have to pay additional costs out of my own pocket to have it repaired at Auto Collision Specialists.
Stop. You pay your insurance premiums in good faith every month with the expectation that if you have an accident, your insurance company will pay what's necessary to repair your car correctly. In many cases, that's not what happens. Scare tactics like threatening to make you pay out of pocket or not warranting the work are tricks that will not be tolerated at Auto Collision Specialists. You can rest assured we have your best interests at heart and will do everything in our power to make sure your insurance company fulfills its commitment to you. Remember, insurance companies don't fix cars. We do.
Auto Collision Specialists will take care of that.
Hey, it's your old buddy Harry Johnston, General Manager at Loveland Ford in Lincoln. Recently, I had the privilege of selling a car to a young man I had met as a child. I sold his great-grandpa a car, I sold his dad a car. 4 generations of satisfied customers. That's what we do best here at Loveland Ford, satisfy our customers. Stop by when you're ready to buy and you'll be satisfied too.
Loveland Ford, a short drive west of I-25 on Highway 34. Loveford.com.
Cutting-edge commentary from the edge of reality. The Scooter McGee Show is back on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting an update out of the newsroom up here at 1310KFK.com. Denver, just shy of airtime tonight, 8:54 p.m. Yeah, 8:54 p.m. Sorry, I thought dyslexia kicked in there for a minute. And just updated here 18 minutes ago. Coming out of Denver 7 News, there has been a shooting regarding an officer, East Colfax and Pearl, earlier this evening. Officer has been rushed to Denver Health with non-life-threatening injuries, according to DPD officer who told Channel 7, the news crew there at the hospital. Story updated here, 8:54. Shooting occurring approximately around 7 p.m. near the intersection of East Colfax. What I said, Pearl, sorry, Washington. Several areas in the road closed. Now, video, we're going to switch over to the feed. We'll put it over on my Facebook page for you guys. And if that story takes a turn south, but supposedly the cop's okay, so let's hope for a quick resolution to that. Oh, yes, Denver now on the radar for the World Cup. Oh, you've heard about the World Cup. You know, our very own news and sports director, Troy Coverdale, pointing out that over 50% of the World Cup hockey or World Cup soccer games are rigged. Thank you very much. Don't thank me. Thank Troy. So for the first time now in 32 years, the men's World Cup soccer is coming to North America again. Why? It's coming. It might come to Denver. Oh, dear God, please, no. It's already too expensive to live anywhere near here. Why did North America win the bid? The United bid, as it dubbed itself from the beginning, was supposedly technically superior all along, pledging to deliver $11 billion of profit over $14 billion in revenue. Both numbers supposedly will blow previous records out of the water. In contrast to Morocco's bid, and all 4 men's World Cup hosts since 2010, South Africa, Brazil, Russia, and Qatar, the complex infrastructure necessary to host a World Cup is already in place in North America. 17 of the Denver is in one of the 23 potential sites. 17 of the 23 potential stadiums already as is. The other 6 merely require, more VIP suites, booths, and boxes. Yeah, they'll need renovation. It's good for infrastructure and jobs. It's a big boondoggle. The United bid pitched certainty, economic certainty, logistics certainty. The United bid uniquely qualified to handle an expanded 48-team World Cup.
You're a lying sack
yeah, I'm not making this up.
You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying, steaming, stinking, nasty sack of liquid crap.
President of the U.S. Soccer, Carlos Cordeiro, presenting the Pass the Joint United bid by Canada, Mexico, and the United States to host the 2026 World Cup. The United States has to cut the list of, again, 23 potential sites of 17 cities down to 10. The Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California. Rose Bowl, good spot. You want it, you can have it. Right? That would be for the opener. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. For the semifinals, it would be the MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Other U.S. citizens that are running: Baltimore, Boston, Cincinnati, Denver, Houston, Kansas City, Miami, Nashville, Orlando, Philadelphia, San Francisco, actually Santa Clara, California, Seattle, and the District of Criminals. There might be good news.
The favorites among them are Washington, Boston, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Miami, Seattle, and Houston. The successful bid, the United bid, also means the United States, Canada, and Mexico will qualify automatically for the tournament. Oh, you get to go because you're participating. Oh. I see. Okay, so it doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter if it's rigged or not. You're going. Oh. So if Canada does not qualify in 2022 or 2026, they'll be the nation's first men's World Cup appearance since 1986. And just it's the second one only ever. Over the past 12 months, to varying degrees, the North African nation seemed like to be a real threat to the World Cup. You can have it! We'll wrap it up in a nice little bow for you and FedEx it. Rampant anti-American sentiment around the world. Well, it's Trump. Trump's going to ruin the World Cup. No, if anything, I'd like to ruin the World Cup. Harmon, get me out of here, bring me back, and send me to the World Cup so I can get all up. How about that? Olympic kickball got me this close to Beijing. The United bid officials took nothing for granted. Jetting around Europe and Asia for a final month plus of the campaign, politicking and wooing heads of soccer federations from over 100 nations. How about just bribes, booze, and table dances? Wooing, campaigning, and politicking, please. Negotiating late up until last night. Apparently, they did enough to bring the votes and bring the World Cup home. I didn't know the World Cup wanted to come home. I think it's been gone long enough. It's an adult. I think I like the kids' room empty now and it's a den. I know you don't believe me. Don't even believe our own news sports director, Troy Coverdale. Over 50% of the World Cup hockey games, or the World Cup soccer games, are rigged. But we're going to bring economic prosperity. 11 to 14 billion. We're going to turn over those profits. Yeah, good luck on that. You let me know how that works out. You bring this to Denver, you break it. Denver can't even figure out where to put Elitch's. Sorry if I'm the one who ruined your little wet parade there. Elitch's is going bye-bye. And you taxpayers paid for the first... Yeah, we're going to have another move. We're going to start looking for relocation sites. You guys are getting raped, robbed, and pillaged by, quote, officials. Interesting story now coming out in the wake of President Trump's earlier tweet today, June 13th, 2018, claiming that in the post-North Korea-U.S. summit, as it comes to nuclear possibilities of engagement, to sleep well. The world is a safer place. Well, that sent the left media into a tailspin, producing this story. You only need 100 nuclear bombs to end the world. You could have brought that story back up in the 50s, or the 60s, or the 70s. Or the 80s, or the 90s, or the 2000s. You could have even brought it up when Helen Thomas tried to ask Barack Hussein Obama about nuclear weapons in Israel at his first press conference. Oh, the people at the Associated Press, owned and controlled by the Rothschilds, and some of the think tanks around the globe, put their heads together, apparently, in the last 48 hours. They ran some models. And nations with huge nuclear arsenals are wasting their money because all it takes is just about 100 missiles, and that would be enough to destroy the world. Britain, of course, currently possesses approximately 215 warheads and around 15,000 worldwide. Oh, that's 15,115 too many. In the first such exercise of its kind, scientists analyzing environmental blowback.
You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying, steaming, stinking, nasty sack of liquid crap.
Researchers determining that no nation could fire more than 100 without causing the chain of events so catastrophic everything's over. In the first such exercise of its kind, lie. Scientists analyzing the environmental blowback of a one-way but massive nuclear strike. Scientists, researchers, think tankers, you are delusional if you think there is anything called a one-way massive nuclear strike. Let me explain to the third graders at the Associated... Oh, we're 47 after 13 to the top. Let's come right back with the discussion, not of nuclear winter. No. Climate change. Now we want to talk about a nuclear autumn. I will give you the third grade definition of mutual assured destruction and why it's been in play now for 60 years. To those in the media who are questioning, why do we need more than 100 of these things around? Because once you launch those, the game's over. 47 after 13 to the top. From the CRP 4x4 studios, I'm Scooter McGee. We'll be right back.
Afraid, tired, and worried by the world news these days? Come to Trinity Lutheran Church and hear the good news of God's love and your salvation. Join us every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. for a traditional service or 10:30 a.m. for a more contemporary service, and find the peace of knowing our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Several adult Bible studies are also offered at 9:20 a.m. each Sunday. Trinity Lutheran Church at 3000 35th Avenue, across from Home Depot in Greeley.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure. What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure.
What does Alt Feed Mill have to offer that chain feed stores don't? They care for everyone in the ag industry, whether you're buying a tote of feed for the pigs, chickens, sheep, or horses. If you're buying a truckload for the dairy or feedlot, they have that handled as well. Alt Feed Mill cares about the ag industry and will give you the respect and care that you deserve. They're located at 635 Railroad Avenue in Alt and can be reached by phone at 970-834-2132. Alt Feed Mill, agricultural business done right.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn. 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
5 concerts, one low price. The 2018 Greeley Stampede Superstars Concert Series includes Darius Rucker, Dustin Lynch, Aaron Watson, and The Roots and Boot Store, featuring Sammy Kershaw, Colin Ray, and Aaron Tippett.
And she don't know she's beautiful.
With more to be announced. Packages on sale February 21st, starting at $80. Visit GreeleyStampede.org for details.
Cutting edge commentary from the edge of reality. The Scooter McGee Show is back on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
Club version. Available by subscription only, not prescription. My ASCAP and BMI rights are for this song. Facebook, YouTube. You take this down, you know what? Go yourself. How about that? Happy hour fluff, tough to dance to. A song about potential nuclear war. In fact, until recently declassified, we came far closer to nuclear war under Ronald Wilson Reagan than we ever did in the Bay of Pigs. Absolute fact. The computers almost took over. They misread the radar. It's too bad we didn't have artificial intelligence back then. Let me explain something to the idiots at the Rothschild-owned and controlled Associated Press and the think tanks, independent or otherwise, from Brookings and I don't give a where. You got degrees on the back of your wall, and you're giving a hypothetical of which a scenario you can't run under any war game model. I will, for example, give you the 80s classic, The Day After. Let's assume intercontinental ballistic launches from the Soviet Union and the United States. That scenario. Or by dawn's early light. A rogue faction inside the Soviet Union has faked a missile attack by NATO and Turkey into the Soviet Union, forcing a retaliatory strike by the computers. The president is then of the United States given an option. Mr. President, the birds are on their way. You may respond with a retaliatory strike of equal or lesser proximity of population destruction. Or you can roll the dice. Or I give you another scenario. Twilight's Last Gleaming. Burt Lancaster, great movie. But let's just use the conventional mutual assured destruction models of the Cold War and subsequent post-Cold War models and remove the suitcase bomb scenario. Hypothetically, North Korea over the weekend, they have a temper tantrum. And let's arbitrarily say they throw 12 missiles in the air. I think they still can't throw one over the South China Sea, but there's evidence to the contrary. But let's say somehow they were able to manage to create 24 weapons. And in their first salvo, they launch up to 50% of them. So let's say 10 to 12 missiles. God forbid, much like all the problems with these guns in high schools, maybe, God forbid, we miss a heat signature and the launch. We're sure as hell going to know when they blast back through the atmosphere. That now limits the time. However, we will presume that a launch detection is triggered. North Korea, Taiwan, Israel, I don't care. This argument that one country would send up to 100 missiles in a direction and somebody would just sit back and go, what's next? Are you out of your minds? And I don't direct your attention to the little mishap in the 80s under United States and Soviet Union in the height of the Cold War. Let's go back to Kennedy. Let's go back to the Cuban Missile Crisis. Let's go back to when the embassy in D.C. is burning everything and we're handing out cards. Kenny O'Donnell, Bobby Kennedy. What are these? Oh, that's your pass to get into the bunker. Where's the bunker? Mount Weather, Virginia. The cards have been given to the White House staff only to attempt to soothe their nerves about being roasted at 35,000 degrees centigrade. There was no way under conventional transportation, and that's the other problem. Now remove the ICBMs from the Soviet Union or the Eastern Bloc, the Iron Curtain. A sub-launch. Nope. In way can you get anybody out of D.C. You're all dead. There's no time. In the meantime, Launch Command and Authority is now at Strategic Air Command. It's at CENTCOM. It's at NORAD. It's up in the air on the Looking Glass plane, the Doomsday aircraft, and it's on Harpoon. They're now carrying out their orders. There's no time to sit around and debate this crap. Mutual assured destruction. Missiles, bombers, subs, all designed for one purpose. Not to win nuclear war, but to turn the thing off. Deliberate strategic pauses so that each side could come back to the table and turn it off. Because the machines took over. Because the human reaction and the human factor is not fast enough. So don't sit here and tell me that one nation is going to launch an arbitrary strike against another and the other's just going to sit back and say, la-di-da. All you need's 100. All you need is one. And one is just too many. One of 1,000 steps to world peace has been taken. And now the nuclear holocaust back in the faces of the political landscape for I cannot believe midterm elections 2018 in the 21st century nuclear holocaust. And all it takes is about 100 of them. It's not nuclear winter, but it could be nuclear autumn. Good. Where's my nuclear pumpkin? Grown to us by Monsanto. All right. We'll be back for another hour of the Scooter McGee Show. Stand by, Gotham.
So you think the Pawn Stars are